Hi friends, welcome to Rita's Paper Motif. Today I have a cute little treat box I want to share with you. Before I do that though, quickly let me introduce myself. I'm Rita here at Rita's Paper Motif. I like to create card and scrapbook page designs as well as 3D projects. I like to share those with you to hopefully inspire you to create and to share with those that matter in your life. Before we get started with this cute little box, I did wanted to say that right now I am hosting an event. It's called Christmas Cards the Easy Way. And the whole goal of this event is to share with you how you can get the number of cards that you need for Christmas to get them done and ready to go in the mail December 1st. So I'm doing this within a time frame of a month and a week, but the goal is to give you 12 weeks. So hopefully you've already started, because obviously we may not have 12 weeks left. So anyway, I want to encourage you, if you're watching here on Facebook, please consider following me. And if you're watching on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. And then of course, you're going to want to hit that bell icon so you're notified of upcoming content. All right, all of that out of the way, I wanted to show you the little box that I want to create for you today. So I'm going to give you the measurements, but do know that anything that you might miss in the video, you can definitely find on my blog. So this box is way cool. There's a lot of stuff that can fit in it. I just put a little blush in here, a little blush compact, but you definitely could put candy. You could put whatever it is you want in your little treat box. And these just make those little stocking stuffers or just little well thought treats so much more attractive. Now this idea I did get from a lady called Amore. I don't remember her full name, but I did edit the measurements a little and how I put it together. So let's go ahead and get started. So to begin with, you'll need an 8.5 by 6 inch piece of cardstock, whatever the color you want to make your box. I'm choosing pecan pie, but you definitely could choose early espresso, or even you could choose crumb cake if you wanted to. So you're going to need that. You're going to need a bunch of items that you can cut and die cut. So this is going to be the little mouth. And so this is a little bit smaller, but this is one, I'll show you this die and then this die. So there's definitely the mouth. Now these antlers, oh, let me show you. I'm so sorry, pardon me. So the mouth came from these dies that are called traditional labels. So this is the one I die cut out now, but this other one is the one that's on my box. And the reason I didn't cut this one out is because when I was cutting it, I was feeling like the space in between was getting a little crowded. So we're going to try this one today and see how it works. And then you can certainly put holly on the top of your box. I wanted to do like the little pine thing. So I didn't have another die that had the pine, but I definitely did have this one, and it's the Christmas greenery dies. So if you have that, that works great, right? And then I did just cut these ears out by hand. I wanted something that looked kind of like a leaf. So originally I cut these out of the crumb cake, and then I cut some insides, which came from the Impressions of Bloom dies. So I just used this leaf because I was thinking I wanted to add to the ear inner part, but that doesn't really look so good. But I like this better. So we might use the pecan. Let's wait and see what we decide. And then these little circles, which are going to be the holly right up here, or holly berries. And these I cut using a It's actually a holly die that I have from one of my sets. I don't have it here. I forgot it. I'm sorry. But that's what I used. And I cut some small ones out of black, thinking I could use those for the eyes. And I definitely can, but I may want, since my mouth is smaller, maybe I could use the bigger eyes. And then here is the nose. Now all of those I cut from the Impressions of Bloom. So here's the eyes and here's the nose, and here are the inset for the ears. So that's how I did that. And then we're going to use some ribbon. This is ribbon that I had left over from last year, so we're going to definitely use that. Let's go ahead and make our box. So we're going to fold on the fold line, so let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to use my bone folder. I love my bone folder. It is just so helpful when I'm trying to get those score lines. It's helpful for a bunch of other jobs too, so it's not just that. But so there are the folds that we made. Let's go to this fold. So let's see, there's a lot of folds here. This one with all the folds is going to be the top. And I did start a video and I cut the top, so I had to start all over. Sorry. Anyway, so we're just folding on those fold lines, right? And then we're folding down here. This is going to be the bottom of the box. So here we go. This is all those fold lines that are folded. We're going to do some cutting along those fold lines. So first we want to cut out these little rectangles right here, and I'll show you why in just a second. So let's just cut them out. I like to do that just because it helps me to have reference here. So there's that, and then we're going to cut out of this one as well, off of this end as well. So top and bottom. Okay, so our top and our bottom. Now we need to, this is going to be the box part. So let's go ahead and cut our tabs. And I didn't do one of the fold lines. Here's the fold line. So one more fold line that I didn't crisp up. So this is a good way to check yourself. So we're going to cut up the fold lines all the way to that fold line that it intersects. And here we go. Now, I want to go ahead and miter those tabs so that when I am gluing that I don't have a lot of bulk. So I'm just going to take this bigger tab and fold it back, and then I'm just going to cut like a triangular shape, which just takes off the bulk. You do this when you're sewing too sometimes, just so you don't have bulk. And it just needs to be a little bit, so you can see that's just a little bit. So then we'll fold this one back, and we'll do the same with this. It also kind of, when you have that score line, you don't want that when you're folding them either. So, okay, so there we go. That's all garbage. So now here's our bottom. And we're going to be attaching this right on here. But I'm telling you this because we need to make a cut before we do that. So I like to do my seam so that it's on the back. So here's that seam. So let's go ahead. So if this is the back, we'll make this the back part of our box. So we need to get rid of this square right here, because you want your box to be able to open, right? So let's go ahead and we'll cut this right now. And then we're going to cut some of those other tabs. So here we go. Let's just cut it off. Okay, and Try never to pull those because I have done that before and it's a problem. Okay, so that is going to be garbage. So now we have something that looks like this, but we still need these tabs cut. So let's go ahead and cut up to the second score line. So here's the first score line, here's the second line. We're going to cut up to that second on both of these. All right, and then we don't need this to be so long, so let's just go ahead and cut it off now. We'll do the same with this. This is why I like to fold them so that it doesn't get in the way. So you can see there. Now we're gonna go ahead and miter them, right? Because we do that. So just a very thin triangular cut there. All right, now this part that we cut, let's go ahead and take our 2-inch punch that we have. Any size of punch will work, or you could use a die. And we're going to, we just want a notch off of here. So right here. So let's go ahead and we're just going to, I want to make sure that it's kind of in the middle. I feel like that's in the middle. And I don't need a whole lot, just a little bit. So I think that's plenty. So we're going to go ahead and punch it. And there we go. Now all of this, let's just get rid of because we don't need it. Now let's go ahead and start putting our box together. So I am using a liquid glue, but any adhesive of choice will work. And so I'm just going to put very little. This is a new bottle, so it's going to come out fast. And we're going to make sure that this is flush. And now we're going to see that our box is coming together. So let's go ahead and put the bottom together now. So I also like, this is going to be the front part. I also like that my, that this flap in the bottom will go to the back. So I'm going to go ahead and put just a little bit of glue right here on the tabs. And then that is going to go down. This will come back just like that. And then I'm going to put some adhesive right here on this one. And this will go just like that. Whoops. Maybe this is a better way to hold it. Just like that. And I want it to be flush. So since I do want it to be flush, I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to go in here in the box and I'm going to make sure that those tabs are laying down. And I'll also kind of just go around those score lines. So, yeah, so there we go. So our box is pretty much complete. And now we have a cute little box, right? Now, you could have started decorating it before, or you could do it now. Since everything is already cut out, I just wanted to do it now. So let's go ahead and begin. And I was also thinking about what ears I want. So here's the finished one. So let's go ahead. I'm going to start with the little mouth. And I'm just going to put him right here. So we'll put a little bit of glue right here. And you're going to use your own judgment as exactly to where you're going to place him, right? So I think I am going to use those darker ears and I'm going to put the little insides. But I do want to kind of bend them a little. And so that might, yeah, I just want to bend them. So I'm going to go ahead and put the ears together so that they can dry. I hope I didn't just use too much glue. So we're just going to let those kind of dry. Let's find the other one. And I have found with this glue that less is more, so you don't need a lot of glue. So we'll let those dry, and let's see what else we can do. Now we definitely can put the nose on, and you could use a dimensional if you wanted to. I'm just going to use adhesive, just glue. I am going to grab my reverse tweezers because I don't want to get glue all over my fingers and then everything is sticking. So I'm going to just put the nose right there. And then we have the eyes. Before we put the eyes, because I want to see how much room I have, let's go ahead and put these ears. Now the ears are going to be right here, just like that. So I did bend these. Now this is another reason why your bone folder is good, because it'll just kind of break the fibers of the cardstock. And so you see that his ears kind of are out, and that's kind of what we want. So let's just go ahead and put it like that. Again, we'll use that bone folder to help us there. And I'm just breaking the fibers. I don't really want it to be super bent. So we'll put some more adhesive right there. And we can see that the ears are going to stick out. That's what we want. Okay, and now let me close this so that we can kind of get a general feeling. Now we have the antlers, and there is something that we could decide. Do we want to put some little red dots on there or not? I'm going to say I don't, but you definitely could do that if you wanted to. But let's go ahead and these reverse tweezers are great because I can hold this while I just dab glue. And I just want to dab the glue right down here. You can also use your mat, your craft mat, and you could just kind of dot these. It's probably a better thing to do. And we're just going to put, so I want the shorter one to be facing outward. So we're just going to put him right there. Again, we'll get that bone folder. Let's find the other one. We're going to do the same thing. Just a little bit of glue. This way, if you get glue on, you have excess glue, it won't get all over your workplace. So we're going to put that there. Now I'm going to want the pine, and here's what I was telling you. I don't really want the pine to stick out that much, so I'm going to cut it down. So that's what I'm measuring right now. I'm going to cut it down to right about here, and you're not going to see my cut anyway because yeah, you're just not going to see it because we're going to cover it up. And so I am just going to kind of measure. Not that it's a big deal, but okay. And so let's go ahead and get some adhesive on our pine boughs. And we don't need adhesive all over. I'm just going to put it on the bottom parts here. And then I am going to put this down a little because I want it to look like he was in the trees, right? And I don't know why I picked up my tweezers like that. I guess I was just being dysfunctional. Okay, so then we're just going to tap them down. And now we're going to let that just be for a moment. Let's talk about the eyes. Now see, look, we have a lot of room for those eyes. So I think that we should use the big ones and not the small ones. So we're just going to do a dot right like that. I definitely will need my tweezers for this. And then we're just going to put his eye. Whoop. And now is a good time to see, kind of try and make sure they're straight. So one thing I did on this one is like this eye's in too much. And I tried to push it, but I waited too long. So yeah. So now we have our eyes. Now let's work on the holly. So those little red circles that are supposed to be the holly, I'm just going to use those. I'm going to move this so that I can bring this closer. I'm just going to put those like right here, like that. But I'm going to go ahead and put the glue first. And dot, dot, you don't need a lot. I have to say that to myself because I haven't always adhered to that. All right, and that's what I like about this Take a Pick tool. It has this little tacky stuff that will help you pick up those little things. And then we can use the other end. So I have two Take a Pick, I actually have 3 Take a Pick tools. And I use them all for different things, but you really only need one. Or maybe you need more, just like me. Now you see that some of that glue is popping out. It will dry. Now we can just take our bow, and I have tied that bow in advance because it just would make things easier for me. And I am going to put that bow on with some glue dots. So the glue dots are great because they will stick these things that are that have little space. And so all you have to do is find your glue dot, put whatever you're going to put the glue dot on, and then it just sticks to it. So sometimes if you can see the glue dot, then you can just kind of maneuver it so that you don't have to see it anymore. And then we're going to put this bow right up here like that, and it will stick. So there is our little reindeer. Now you could definitely take your journaling pen or any pen and just kind of make his little mouth. So I am not artistic this way, but we're just going to make it like that. You could give him a smile or whatever you want. And there is my little reindeer box. So definitely give it a try. Like I said, you can find all of the measurements and everything at ritaspapermotif.com. I will list all of the dies and everything that I used, and then you can make your own. Now you could cut this, if you wanted to, you could cut that circle die to cut that, but I don't see a need. But I should be looking at what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So there you go. And thanks for joining me. And I hope you'll try it. Have a good weekend. Bye.